Hello, everyone. Dr. Jack Wolfson, board-certified cardiologist at Natural Heart Doctor, doing a Facebook Live Q&A. Ask any questions, anything I can help with, please let me know. Dr. Jack Wolfson, board-certified cardiologist, Natural Heart Doctor, your home for the 100-year heart. The comment section is open. Today, as we advertised, is a Q&A. Ask anything that you want. Again, it's a privilege to host all of you here. Again, feel free, ask the questions. I've got my team moderating as well. Jump in, say hello, let me know how I sound. I'm broadcasting from outside. So, again, hopefully it is crystal clear. Again, I'm a cardiologist. I'm not a social media technician. So again, hopefully everything sounds well and I can answer all of your questions. Hop on live, say hello, and let me know what your thoughts are. Now, I do want to announce that Natural Heart Doctor Scottsdale, our new location, is open. And we've been seeing patients there all week. It's been a fantastic experience. If you are interested in coming out to Arizona and seeing either myself, Dr. Latanza, one of the health coaches, seeing us live in person, feel free to schedule an appointment. Just email us, health@naturalheartdoctor.com. Health@naturalheartdoctor.com is where you can email us. You can also call us, 480-535-6844. That is the new Scottsdale location, 3,300 square feet. It turned out beautiful, no odors, no smells. It's really just absolutely fantastic. Hello to Coach Laura Hill and to Coach Allie Richmond. If you are not familiar with Coach Laura and Coach Allie, you should. They're absolutely wonderful additions to the Natural Heart Doctor team. Allie's been with us now for well over a year, and Laura has been with us for several months, and again, are just the raving reviews. The health coaching option is just a fantastic option for so many people, again, to be able to get some hand holding through the process. Again, I like the example of Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous, people are much more successful quitting alcohol when they have guidance, when they have support, when they have the team approach. And that's what we offer at Natural Heart Doctor, a team approach, a partnership in your health journey on your way to the 100-year heart. So Amanda Scoggins in the house. Great to see you as well. There may be some background noise, but that's what happens when you're broadcasting and you're outside and you're in the natural light, which is fantastic. So Adele Goldstein, thank you. Now, the purpose of today's presentation, again, is a Q&A. Ask any questions you would like. We had a lot of people who emailed in questions, and we can go over some of those as well. And I do want to tell you, if you're trying to contact us, it's health@Natural Heart Doctor. If you would like to email in questions, you can send it there, or another alternate email address is hello@Natural Heart Doctor. But you'll be able to find us, ask us your questions, ask questions inside the Facebook group, ask questions by email. We are here to help. Susan Patterson Stevens in the house. Great to see you, Susan, as well. Again, just a wonderful community that we've created at Natural Heart Doctor. Come visit us in person. You'll be blown away by the new office location. Lots to be announced, lots of plans that we're going to be doing forward. Okay, so as it pertains to Q&A, we get a lot of questions, again, that are about aortic valve disease. For example, what can be done about aortic valve disease? So again, the question right now is, what can be done about aortic valve disease for somebody who is born with a bicuspid aortic valve? So let's talk about what we can do to prevent the progression of the aortic valve disease so it doesn't progress, actually, and you never have to have surgery to repair or to replace that valve. The key of all of our tenets of everything at Natural Heart Doctor is eat well, live well, think well. So if we want to keep that valve healthy and young, if you have 2 cusps instead of the normal 3, you're more likely to develop aortic valve stenosis or regurgitation, needing a surgical procedure to repair or to replace that valve. We can totally avoid that, and we've done so very successfully. So again, eat well, live well, think well. We eat organic paleo foods. Seafood is number one. Eating free-range grass-fed organ meats, eating fermented vegetables, nuts, seeds, eggs, avocados, coconuts, vegetables, fruit in season. That is the optimal thing we could do. And again, we always want to be organic. We always want to be gluten-free. Now, if you're trying to prevent the valve from getting worse, that's where the concept is test, don't guess. We want to do the most advanced testing in the world. At Natural Heart Doctor, we call kind of that good package to start off is actually 6 tests. We call that level 2 testing. So if you're interested, check out level 2 testing. Inside of level 2 testing is something called vitamin K. And again, vitamin K prevents the calcification of the aortic valve. So again, if you have a bicuspid aortic valve, you can prevent it from getting worse by something like vitamin K, a product like Arterosil, and other things that we identify from the laboratory abnormalities. Again, if we find inflammation, let's fix the inflammation. If we find low levels of vitamin D or glutathione, let's fix it. If we find environmental toxins and mold mycotoxins, let's fix those abnormalities. Now, the medical community, all they have is statin drugs, which are a very ineffective way to prevent the valve from getting worse. Again, we do the eat well, live well, think well, and we talked about eat well. Let's talk about thinking well. Thinking well, again, is finding your happiness, reducing stress, yoga, meditation, tai chi, being physically active outdoors. That also goes into live well. Live well means get sunshine, get appropriate sleep, and again, we talk about that as well. So ultimately, progression of aortic valve disease is 100% obtainable when someone has a bicuspid aortic valve. How do you know if you have that? A doctor, a cardiologist typically can listen on examination. Maybe you've been told you had a heart murmur. It is best diagnosed with an echocardiogram, a cardiac ultrasound. So if this is you, if you would like our help, we are here to help. Certainly, we've got a lot of information now. We've got a lot of information coming out going forward, and we want to be able to help you. We don't want you to have an unnecessary surgery, or if we can help you avoid that surgery, that is how we do it. So that wraps up the question regarding bicuspid aortic valve disease. Now, Adele is asking about how can she eat well, eat the best way while traveling and staying in hotels. And we see a lot of people that struggle with this, a lot of people who drive for a living. We see a lot of truckers who are carrying our goods and our products and foods all across the country and into Canada and so on and so forth. How can people stay healthy while traveling? Well, number one is you want to make sure you prepare for the travel. You want to know what are the natural grocery stores or co-ops that you can shop at? What are some natural and organic restaurants that you can patronize? So you call ahead. You ask the questions. Do you serve free-range grass-fed meat? Do you serve wild seafood? Do you serve organic and local produce? It's not easy. It's not easy. But the more we ask the question, the more we change the world. The more people will become aware that we're not going to your restaurant or establishment unless you have those particular things. So, number two, bring food with you. I always travel with cans of sardines, cans of or jars of anchovies. Yes, I'm the guy on the plane who opens up a can of sardines, and it's perfectly legit, and I've been doing it for years. You can travel with avocados, hard-boiled eggs. You can travel with freeze-dried liver snacks. You can travel with cut-up vegetables. You can travel with cut-up fruit, nuts and seeds. Again, you want to be prepared. Now, another great thing you can do while traveling is it's a perfect time to fast. It's a perfect time for intermittent fasting. You don't need to eat while you're driving somewhere. You don't need to eat while you are flying somewhere. I know it passes the time, but instead of doing that, it's a great time just to water fast. So when I go in through an airport or we prepare for a long car trip, again, we bring a lot of water. And when you go through airport security, get a high quality bottle of water. If you can't find glass, which most likely you can't, then go ahead and get a bottle of Fiji or Evian or some kind of high quality water. So those are a couple different tips and strategies. Now, when I land or arrive somewhere, again, I go immediately to a natural grocery store and load up on any food that I may need. Again, I never cheat. I never compensate. I never let down my belief system, because number one, I want to live, and number two, I think, again, if I act this way, I can be one person, and if we all do this, we can truly change the world for more beneficial options. So again, I go and I source out a local natural grocery store. Maybe it's a Whole Foods, maybe it's a Natural Grocers, maybe it's a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's. Preferably it's a local co-op. So for example, we drive from Colorado to Arizona all the time. We stop at Moonflower Co-op in Moab all the time. I love giving them our business, supporting local, and again, that is a fantastic way to do it. So Adele, hopefully that answered your question about how to eat well while traveling and staying in hotels. And again, I want to thank everyone for being here inside of Natural Heart Doctor, our live Q&A. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Richard, hello to you. Nancy, hello. Belinda, and everybody on my team that's helping to monitor and provide links. Again, if you don't have a copy of my book, or if you do and you want to give a copy to someone else, the book's free. All you do is pay shipping. freeheartbook.com. That is freeheartbook.com. I want to say some additional words about traveling too. That's a great time when it comes to supplements, that you're bringing these food-based supplements. So if I tell you to bring a tub of Daily Defense, the Daily Defense is part of the food budget and can satiate you in a very healthy way. If we tell you to take some of our liver capsules, that is food. That will satiate you. You're not going to, of course, feel stuffed, but after they get digested and assimilated, you feel really You feel good. You feel good when you eat the freeze-dried liver caps that we carry. You can also do Heartbeat. You can do Daily Greens. You can do Superfood. These are foods that truly, again, can help you while you're traveling or when you're not traveling. So again, thank you so much. For everybody who's here, again, Dr. Jack Wolfson, Natural Heart Doctor. New location is open in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it is just spectacular. Myself, my team, just so proud of everything that we have created here as well. Now, I do want to address the topic of vitamin D and vitamin D supplementation. Now, if you know me, you know I talk a lot about being outside, hence why I'm outside right now doing this Q&A. Being outside allows so many positive things, but one of the most important is that it gets our solar panel inside the light. And the light from the sun hits our skin and does some amazing things. Number one, of course, it turns cholesterol in the skin into vitamin D. Cholesterol levels go down, vitamin D goes up. That's the best form of vitamin D. Now, for those people who don't live in a climate where they get a lot of sunshine exposure, I tell them to move. And if they can't move because they've got family, friends, or their job, or maybe they don't want to move, then I recommend taking a lot of vacations, especially in the winter time, to a sunny location and get plenty of sun. I tell people come out to Arizona where it's sunny 400 days a year. But even Arizona in the wintertime, it's not low enough or close enough to the equator. So ideally, we would go even further. We want to go somewhere below 30 degrees northern latitude in order to get some degree of vitamin D. Now, in addition to vitamin D and everything that vitamin D does, getting the sun increases nitric oxide, helps produce melatonin, which is tremendous anti-inflammatory. It helps us sleep. Melatonin is the master hormone that controls all the other hormones. So those are the benefits there. Now, another thing that we talk about often is a lamp, a sunshine lamp. And the one we recommend is at naturalheartdoctor.com/lamp, LAMP. And with the lamp, again, you're able to create vitamin D from that particular lamp. When you eat animal products, free-range grass-fed meats, particularly the organs, and you eat seafood and you eat eggs, you get a lot of vitamin D as well. Some forms of mushrooms have vitamin D, but it's really not an adequate source. Again, sunshine, get it from the animal products and the seafood, get it from the lamp. And finally, if you need to supplement vitamin D, more so in the winter time, I don't believe in supplementing vitamin D in the summertime, but in the winter time, to do vitamin D, yes, you want to make sure you take it along with vitamin K, specifically vitamin K2. K2 keeps the calcium in the bones and out of the arteries, and K2 helps actually with plaque reversal. And that's why our multivitamin contains a little bit of vitamin D, but it contains a hefty serving of K2. We measure people's K2 levels. I think that's absolutely paramount as well. I don't like vitamin D K2 combinations, and we do not sell those at Natural Heart Doctor because I believe that although we typically need a lot of vitamin K, again, taking supplemental vitamin D can be variable. In the summertime, there's no reason to take D. In the wintertime, you can take D. I usually reserve taking D because I get a lot of it from the food. I usually reserve taking vitamin D for acute needs only. Like if I feel run down, if I feel like I'm coming down with something, then I would take the vitamin D. And that may be 20,000 IUs, that may be 40,000 IUs. Again, when they were doing studies on children who were impacted by measles, they were giving the children dosages of 200,000 IUs of vitamin D. And don't forget also, when it comes to super immunity, vitamin A, which of course is found in animal products and specifically liver, which is why I think that our liver capsules may be the single most important supplement for you to take. Now, Marlene is asking, would you take vitamin K2 in the summer? I take K2 every single day. It is inside of our multivitamin. It is inside of our liver products. It is inside of our product called Super K. Vitamin K2, again, that keeps calcium in the bones and out of the arteries, is a little bit difficult to get, again, from our diet. Also, the good bacteria in the gut convert K1 into K2. So the K1 from plants is converted into the usable form of K2, and that is done by the bacteria in the gut, which is one reason why we created Heart Helpers, which is our 10-strain, 25 billion capsule probiotic inside of, it's a nitrogen purged blister pack. So again, you can use that to help convert K1 into K2. But yes, Marlene, I take K2 every single day. I think it is a super strategy. Now, not everybody necessarily needs to, because we can also test, don't guess. And if your K2 levels are on the higher side, then you may not need to supplement. Again, that's where individual conversations come in with us and you all. And we are certainly happy to help in that arena. Well, so far, I'm loving this conversation. Again, I'm outside. It's really fantastic. I apologize for any background noise, but I'm outside. I'm speaking my truth and loving it. And again, my team is here on the call. Dr. Jack Wolfson, cardiologist at Natural Heart Doctor. Again, should you want to come out and see us in person, you're going to love the experience at the new Scottsdale location. My team is just done a fantastic job setting up the location, running the location, and again, the experience has been absolutely wonderful. So I do want to talk about another topic, which is about stress testing, and what to do if you have already been told you have an abnormal stress test. So if you've gone for a stress test and they've told you that there's an abnormality and the next step is an angiogram, well, I want you to think about that. And I want you to take the opportunity maybe to ask us at Natural Heart Doctor if that is indeed necessary. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's an emergency situation, you're in the midst of a heart attack, and it's emergency, then you go for an angiogram. But if you have an abnormal stress test, we can definitely talk about it, because the reality is that abnormal stress testing will identify that there is a blockage. Now, what do we do about the blockage? If you have symptoms, then we can decide what you want to do about the symptoms and the abnormal stress test. You can go for an angiogram and possibly a stent or bypass surgery. Number 2, you could take pharmaceuticals that are anti-anginals, which of course were done for many years. Beta blockers, long-acting nitrates, those can be used for that endeavor, sometimes calcium channel blockers. Number 3, you can use a natural approach. You can use natural nitric oxide boosters, like, for example, our heartbeat and our vessel support. You can use our magnesium and potassium. You can use omega-3s. We do all the things: eat well, live well, think well, test, don't guess. Other evidence-based supplements. A product like Arterisol, which is proven to reverse coronary artery plaque, and it has the United States patent on that particular purpose. You can do a combination of numbers 1, 2, and 3. You can go for a stent. You can go for pharmaceuticals. You can take the natural stuff. You can do all those things. But I want you to know this: the stent procedure after an abnormal stress test does not prevent a heart attack, and it does not save lives. Let me say this again. If you have an abnormal stress test, the stent procedure does not prevent a heart attack, and it does not save lives. It sounds a little strange to most people. If I were to say you had an abnormal stress test, it led to an angiogram, and the angiogram showed a blockage of 90%, and you got a stent, but it didn't prevent you from having a heart attack, and it didn't prevent you from dying. And actually, after 1 year, for people with chest discomfort, whether they got a stent or they're on pharmaceuticals, there's no difference in chest pain, there's no difference in heart attacks, and there's no difference in lives saved. So I want everybody to understand that. And again, please replay this clip, and my team will select out this clip so you understand it. Again, stents are for symptoms. If you have a stress test that's an abnormality, we want to know, again, what we need to do about it. And again, why was the stress test even done in the first place? I came from the industry where, again, it was just the progression of every person is eligible for a stress test. Any abnormality led to an angiogram. Angiograms invariably revealed something that needed to be fixed, something that needed to be followed. Again, I want you to know that we can be your second opinion. If you have an abnormal stress test, let us know. It doesn't always mean you need to go to the next step for an angiogram. And again, we'd love to be your second opinion on that particular thing. Now, Marlene is asking, once you have initial testing done, no matter what that testing is, say, again, it's an advanced cardiovascular analysis where we're looking at all the lipids, we're looking at all the markers of inflammation, we're looking at mold mycotoxins, environmental toxins, leaky gut, we're looking at intracellular vitamins and minerals. No matter what we're looking at, tick-borne illnesses, Lyme, Bartonella, Babesia, again, there's a lot of fantastic tests that we can do. And typically, what we would do is that we test, we review the results, and then we change up our plan, and then we follow that plan for about 3 to 4 months, and then we retest what we feel needs to be retested. And we talk about that. This is what needs to be retested. This is what doesn't need to be retested. We're here to work together as partners to be able to give you the 100-year heart. And again, we want to give you the best service and the best health possible. So we have that communication. But yes, Marlene, that's typically what is done. We test initially, we review, we tweak the plan, and then we test 3 to 4 months down the road. Now, sometimes if people don't have any significant abnormalities, we can retest in 6 months, we can retest in 1 year. Every person is different. And again, we work to decide. Some people want to be tested every 3 months. They want to be tested every single 3 months on all the tests we offer. Some people are more interested in, again, spacing out things based on, truly what their definitive needs are, and we can certainly talk about that as we go along. All right. Listen, I hope everyone's loving the Q&A right now. As you can tell, I love Q&A. I love riffing on Q&A. Please, if you have further questions, email us. Certainly, you can email the main office at health@naturalheartdoctor.com. You can also email questions at hello@naturalheartdoctor. You can also put your questions into the Facebook group, and we'll respond to those as well. We get probably, I don't know, 10 to 20 questions every single day, whether by email, by social, by phone, whatever it may be. We are here to help. I left the biggest group in the state of Arizona to open up Natural Heart Doctor and give you the best health advice in the world, the best heart health advice in the world, on your way to the 100-year heart and beyond. So again, so much appreciate you and on your time. And I do at this time, I want to talk about a question from Amy Allschlager. And what she wants to know essentially is what to do about Whitecoat hypertension. She feels that when she goes to her doctor's office, the blood pressure's up, but when she's at home or in other situations, her blood pressure is normal. So she feels that she gets nervous in the doctor's office. We label that as Whitecoat hypertension, but unfortunately, a lot of medical doctors and cardiologists are very quick to recommend a pharmaceutical for that person. Now, the person with Whitecoat hypertension, it does identify a problem for the long term. It's not a benign condition, and we need to figure it out. And there's different ways that we can get into stress reduction techniques, because you may be getting higher blood pressure when you're in the doctor's office, but also while you're in traffic or on the phone with the cable company or in an argument with a colleague, a coworker, a boss, a family member, whatever it may be. Yes, arguments do happen, and we do live in a very stressful modern world. So what I do want to say about this is that when you go to the doctor's office, ideally what they do is that they put the blood pressure cuff on you, whether it's a brachial cuff on the arm or it's a wrist cuff, and they're supposed to let that sit for 5 minutes. The cuff is supposed to go on, and then ideally they let it sit for 5 minutes. Now, nobody does that. Everybody's in a rush, but that is the ideal way to check blood pressure after, again, you wait for 5 minutes. Now, if that number is high, what I would suggest is, again, getting a blood pressure cuff and keeping a blood pressure diary while you are at home. So while you're at home, you can check your blood pressure. Please only check it once a day, maybe at most twice a day. Ideally, it's probably 2 to 3 times per week. Keep a diary, send it into your healthcare practitioner on what those numbers are. Now, maybe you would check it while you're under stress at home. Maybe you would check it when you wake up and hopefully you're feeling relaxed. But again, you can check your blood pressure at home and see how it compares to in the office. Ultimately, you can also get what's called 24-hour blood pressure monitoring, where that is essentially checking your blood pressure on a consistent basis and coming up with an average blood pressure throughout the day. So those are different strategies to really get a good example on your blood pressure and what it's doing. Now, other things that also can tell us how blood pressure is impacting your body include an EKG, the physical examination. The doctor can hear certain things. A cardiac ultrasound can look for thickening of the heart or something called diastolic dysfunction. And then also one of the blood tests that we do in our advanced cardiac panel is a BNP, that is a measure of heart stress. And if your heart stress is under control, I don't think that the blood pressure is really causing any problems to your brain, to your heart, to your kidneys, and the rest of the body. So it truly becomes just a number. And we don't want to treat numbers, we want to treat people. And that is how we can go about that and that particular test. So yes, I hope this is all fantastic information for you. We've talked about a lot of very interesting things. We're about 30 minutes into our Q&A, and we're going to be doing these on a monthly basis. We're going to be doing these things on the last Wednesday of every month, same time, same channel. So bring your questions. You can bring them to this, or again, ask us at any time. That is what we are here for. That is why we are here to serve you, to help you. We want to prevent you from going for unnecessary procedures. We want to prevent you from getting unnecessary tests. We want to prevent you from being prescribed pharmaceuticals without reason. We want to help you test, don't guess. We want to help you go after the cause of why you have these particular conditions. So you're not deficient in pharmaceuticals. You're deficient in the right food, the right lifestyle, and maybe the right emotional state as well. So ultimately, eat well, live well, think well, eat well, organic, paleo, hunter-gatherer foods, lots of seafood, organ meats, or take liver capsules. We want to make sure that you live well, which is including sleep, which is including sunshine, which is including physical activity, which is including avoidance of toxin and chemicals, which is including chiropractic care, and including holistic and integrative dentistry. Again, the teeth are just penultimate as far as importance as well. And then again, the think well. We want to just keep the stress to a minimum, which is very difficult in our modern world, but it's doable. And it is very, very helpful. Okay, I also want to take some time right now, and I want to address a question by Jennifer. She is asking about someone diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and what can we do for natural treatment solutions for congestive heart failure. Now, this is certainly a big, big topic. And first off, I hate the term congestive heart failure. It doesn't sound good. It makes people more nervous. We can choose to use cardiomyopathy instead. And if someone has symptoms from cardiomyopathy, then they are in congestive heart failure, if you will. So congestive heart failure means the heart pump does not pump efficiently enough to meet the needs of the body. That can also lead to shortness of breath with activity. It could also mean that your lungs are getting full of water, your legs are getting full of water, your abdomen is getting full of water. There's a lot of different causes of congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy. And again, that could be from a leaky heart valve, that could be from a heart attack, that could be from a pharmaceutical, that could be from a virus, that could be from an injection, that could be from alcohol, it could also be from stress-induced cardiomyopathy. So a lot of things that do that, and that's what we do at Natural Heart Doctor. We help to discover why you have cardiomyopathy, why you have congestive heart failure, and we work on natural treatment solutions for that, and we've been very successful. So once again we start uncovering the why, and we do a lot of that with the most advanced testing in the world, and we also then we get into, as I've said before, eat well, live well, think well, the test, don't guess, and then we use evidence-based supplements to support. So for example, B1, vitamin B1 deficiency is well known to cause cardiomyopathy and congestive heart failure. Have you had your levels of B1 tested? B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, folate, B12. There's a lot of different things that lead, zinc and cardiomyopathy, zinc deficiency. So again, that's why we need to test. But I'm telling you right now, as a conventional cardiologist over 10 years, we didn't do that. We just provided pharmaceuticals. We never went after the cause. And that's what we do here at Natural Heart Doctor. We go after the cause, and then we work with you to come up with natural treatment solutions. Sometimes those are in conjunction with your local cardiologist. Sometimes we do need to use pharmaceuticals in those situations. But again, our goal is to reduce and eliminate pharmaceuticals, to reduce and avoid the need for surgical procedures. And we get again, just tremendous results with all these. I've seen so many people come in with congestive heart failure or cardiomyopathy, and they do very, very well under our care. Again, because you're not deficient in pharmaceuticals, but you're deficient in one or many things that's leading to your condition, and we need to fix that. So that's, again, how we start going after congestive heart failure and cardiomyopathy. Marlene is asking, should we get tested before we start buying supplements? I guess in short, I would say ideally, yes, we get tested. We do level 2 testing, and the experience will blow you away when you're able to go over the results with myself, our naturopathic medical doctor, Dr. Lauren Latanza, or go over the results with one of our health coaches. And once we do that, we can really hone in specifically on the supplements that you need. Now, I will say in general, listen, everybody should be taking our liver capsules. Everybody should be taking our multivitamin. Everybody should be taking our daily defense. Everybody should be taking our heart helpers, certainly as it relates to cardiovascular people and patients. Now, these are good for anybody and everybody. Again, our heart helpers probiotics are good for everyone, but specifically, I designed them for the cardiovascular concerned patient, no matter what their cardiovascular issue is. I do love the idea of taking Arterosil, for example, Arterosil. We have those on our website as well. So I do love that particular product. And if you go to their website, arterosil.com, to learn more, you'll be blown away by what they do there. Again, greens powders are great. We've got a product called Cardio Greens. Our superfood is Chlorella spirulina, organic, fantastic source of vitamins, minerals, detoxifiers, you name it. For people with cholesterol issues, we have OptiLipid. So OptiLipid is 6 different nutraceuticals that, again, we've got a track record of tremendous success with that. So again, there's a lot of different supplements that people can take. I love supplements. I take a handful 2 to 3 times a day. I take supplements for detoxification. I just think that supplements supplement the eat well, live well, think well. And then again, we can dial it in with the most advanced testing in the world. So if we find that you've got a lot of inflammation, we want to put out the fire. And supplements can help with that. If we find environmental toxins, mold mycotoxins, again, supplements can also help with that as well. Erica, thank you for your commentary. Jennifer Wade, you got it, my pleasure. Amanda Noel Scoggin, of course, knows all these things already as well. So just a wonderful conversation. As you can tell, I love to talk heart health. And that is what we are here for at Natural Heart Doctor. And I will take one more question that we've been asked before, and this belongs to Shelley. And Shelley is asking about a condition called SCAD, spontaneous coronary artery dissection. This is also something that our patient Danielle Denline, who has been on Dr. Oz, who has been just like a national spokesperson for spontaneous coronary artery dissection, because it affected her. So what that means is that she had a heart attack, but there was no evidence of coronary artery disease. What happened was that there was damage that happened to the artery that wasn't the typical plaque, and it typically happens under times of stress. And the cardiologist in the situation may put in a stent. Bypass surgery may be required, but what we want to do is we want to prevent that from going forward. And again, these future episodes, they can be prevented when you eat well, live well, think well, you test, don't guess, and then you use evidence-based supplements as necessary. And that think well is particularly critical in SCAD to minimize that recurrent stress exposure. Stress happens all the time, but we want to make sure that we have techniques and strategies to be able to deal with the stress so we do not have another spontaneous coronary artery dissection. It is the number one cause of heart attack in young women. It's something everybody should know about. And again, we've got some articles on this particular diagnosis, and it's more common than you would think. So that is SCAD. So that being said, again, we've got some wonderful questions that people have come up with. Please email in those questions. Hello at Natural Heart Doctor. Ask these questions on social media. And again, we will get back to you. Our goal is to answer every single question that everybody asks. And then, of course, we've got a team putting together a tremendous website coming up for naturalheartdoctor.com that's going to have so many different answers to your questions. And we're going to keep continuing to build that out and make it better and better and better. So, we are 40 minutes into the conversation. Susan Patterson, Stevens, thank you. Thank you for your passion. Jennifer Wade, again, Erica, fantastic stuff. So, again, I'm Dr. Jack Wolfson, board-certified cardiologist at Natural Heart Doctor, your home for the 100-year heart. You know, people often say to me, when they see me in person or they call or email, they say, thank you, Dr. Jack, for doing what you do. But I want to say thank you, because I can't do what I do without people like you that are interested, that are passionate, that want better for themselves and for their family. So as much as many people need me, I need you. And I need you to tell as many people as you can that there is a natural, holistic approach when it comes to heart health. And yes, you can have your 100-year heart. So with that being said, everyone, thank you. And we will definitely see you next time with another episode of Natural Heart Doctor live on our Q&A. Be well.